Hi folks, hi friends of GBL, the old church 5 Acre Homestead. You are looking at the old church right up over my head, not my shoulder. I had to come down here today. This is Monday. I had to come down here and get a few supplies that I need for back home in Gander, but I could not do this visit without taking a walk to the beach. And I am inviting you to join me for this little stroll to the beach, folks. So let's do that together. Okay, so there's the beach. There's Gander Bay in the distance. And I'm going to zoom in. And you and I are going to take a little stroll. And we're going to walk down there to that hill there. That little point leading out into the ocean. And let's do that right now. All right, so I'm going to try and walk slow here. Now, it is quite a distance while you're filming, of course, but it's not quite long at all. It's probably only a couple of hundred yards, probably, to that rock, to that little cliff there, overlooking the ocean. But let's walk together. Let's chat together as we go. Looking forward to the spring, looking forward to the summer, and I'm looking forward to coming down here during some of my Easter break, folks, which is only a couple of weeks away. And I most certainly am looking forward coming down here and spending July and August down here doing a lot of work that Miss Betty and I need to get done in order to make the old church and this homestead livable so we can retire here in a couple of years. Now, let's get down there. We're almost there. There's the sign. There's the sign, the stop sign, and it says Church Road. Okay, so let's get down to the edge of the pavement, which is only a hop, skip, a jump now from where I'm to. Let's walk across. Let's walk across. And we're overlooking Gander Bay. As I said, this is a part of Notre Dame Bay, which is on the northeast coast of Newfoundland and Labrador. And Newfoundland and Labrador, of course, is the most easterly province in the country of Canada. Just look at this beautiful, beautiful beach. My grandson James and I, we spend quite a bit of time down here looking for sea glass and looking for shells and looking for some interesting rocks that we find down here from time to time. Okay, so let's take a stroll down. The water's a little bit low today. Normally, it's in a lot closer to the shoreline when it's high tide, but it's low tide now, and the water, as I said, is out a little bit. I'm going to tell you something now. In a week or so, during Easter break, I am going to come down here and just take a look at this right here. Just take a look at this here in the distance. This is some seaweed. This is absolutely gold. This is an absolute gold mine right here for anyone who is into gardening and anyone who's into growing potatoes. I'm going to harvest as much of this as I can. I'm going to take it back to my raised bed vegetable garden in Gander, and I'm going to be using this stuff to fertilize my potatoes this year. Absolutely. An awesome, awesome gift from Mother Nature here is seaweed. It washes up on shore here from Gander Bay, and if you're here when the tide is low, you can pick away at this stuff and carry it back to your gardens, and that's what I'm gonna do with that. So I'm almost down to the water's edge. This cliff, this rock, is a little bit slippery, so I gotta be careful. I'm going out on this, we call this a knob. I'm going out on this little knob here now, out by the water's edge. Okay, let me get down, because I gotta be very careful that I don't slip and fall. Okay, I'm gonna get out on that. I'm gonna get out on that little rock out there. Okay, here we go. I feel like I'm Leonardo DiCaprio on the Titanic, and if I could put my arms out, I would feel like I'm just on the Titanic, on the bow of the Titanic. But of course I can't do that because I got my phone in my hand. All right, just take a look. There's some seaweed, live seaweed growing here along the shoreline. There's some mussels here. There's some cockles here. There's some snails or wrinkles here. You can see them growing on the rocks. Let me zoom in. You can see some little wrinkles there. That's what we call them. Okay. The larger version of these little wrinkles become escargots, which is a delicacy in some restaurants. People like to eat. Let me see if I can zoom in on a few right here. Look, there's a couple, and there's another one, and there's a few young ones there. Okay. Right down here in the beach, next to the old church. Can't wait to come down here and have a beach fire and roast some marshmallows and some wieners and some mussels and maybe some lobster and some crab legs and that kind of stuff, and have a grand old time down here in this beach. I'm going to take a little stroll here now and get in a little bit closer to some of this seaweed that I'm going to come down and harvest, like I said, in a week or so for my raised bed vegetable garden back in Gander. Just have a look at it. Let's just zoom in. See my hand? Okay, this is what it looks like. It's great stuff. It's great stuff for growing vegetables. Great fertilizer. All right. Gander Bay, folks, Newfoundland and Labrador. A beautiful bay right here. And there's some cliff that's been washed away by nature's waves and nature's fury sometimes. I'm gonna climb up that hill now very soon and get back to my truck. I have to get back to Gander. As I said, I came down and got a few things I need. Let's look at the profile in this rock right here. That's an interesting rock, eh? Just look at that. That's cool. Okay, let me walk back up over this hill. And if you look into the distance right there, you can see the old church and the cemetery, and you can see my Silverado pickup. I'm going to head there now and head back to Gander.